Hello everyone, and welcome to my reaction to Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 228. I am a little under the weather today, as you can probably tell, so, yeah, that's why I sound different. I don't believe I've actually seen anything from this week's chapter, which is a little abnormal. No one even told me to stay off the internet this week, though I guess that's just kind of become expected at this point. But, didn't get spoiled anyway. So, I don't know. We're going to see how crazy this chapter is or isn't. I really don't have anything to base my expectations off of other than the fact that the last several chapters have been really good. Before we find out if this one's going to keep up that trend or not, please be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of my uploads. I like to try and hit at least 100 likes on this week's reaction. Now then, without any further ado, let's get right into this week's chapter. Gojo and Sakuna in the Black Orb. My favorite sort of pastime, being in the Black Orb. A small barrier? Well, in theory, it could serve to strengthen the barrier. It's not even the size of a basketball. Oh my god, that was the exact thing I made the comparison to the other day. Holy shit. Hold on a sec. That's impossible. Just how many times have things been impossible today already? Quite a few. Why? A barrier's outward appearance and how big it is on the inside almost never match as it is. That's true, you've experienced, like, the weirdest of barriers, so... That's why once you're trapped in a domain, unless you somehow find the edge, you don't even have the option to escape. And even if you can reach the edge, a normal domain is resistant to attacks from the inside. Yeah, you've experienced how fucking giant Dagon's domain was on the inside, and also the weird time warping properties of Sumo Bro's domain. Still, there are limits, Musclehead. I don't think Maki's ever been called that before. Don't blame me, blame my dumbass teacher. I don't think it gets brought up enough that Kusakabe is currently the second year's teachers. I wonder which of her teachers she's talking about right now. What's most important with barrier techniques is a concrete image. Usually, if you tried to envision a barrier too small to even hold yourself and your opponent, the barrier would just collapse. The prison realm. I see. His experience being sealed in the prison realm is now coming into play. Talk about an awful learning opportunity. So because he's been in such an impossible space as that, he's figured out how to be able to do it with his domain? Interesting. Even knowing that, I still don't get how he can change the conditions of his domain every time he uses it. Kusakabe, you've been saying that a lot, but what does it even mean? Barriers, particularly domain barriers, typically have set internal and external parameters like volume and creation speed. By discovering their own blend of these parameters, every sorcerer is able to establish their own domain barrier. Really? Oh, our two newest domain users present. Oh, that's going to be big information for them. Higuruma and Hikari. You guys are exceptions. Your domains open by default as part of your curse techniques. Okay, I'm glad we got confirmation on that. That basically their domains are their curse techniques. Man, Kusakabe, you've been getting so much spotlight lately. In any case, they aren't usually things that can be changed on the fly with each use. You're incredible, Kin-chan. Thanks, Kirara. Was it too difficult to maintain such a huge barrier that he had to compress it down to that size? It looks like it's freaking the fuck out right now. Is it gonna explode? Maybe he just wanted to see if he could cover the effective range of Malevolent Shrine with a large enough barrier. What the fuck is going on in there? It's holding out. It's gonna explode. What? Sakuna also decreased his domain's range so he could increase the output of his curse technique. If this barrier breaks, they'll reach a stalemate, won't they? So is Malevolent Shrine's range still outside here? How much did he shrink it by? If that happens, Gojo will be running out of options. He'll lose. Here we are inside. The domain looks like an exploding star. It explodes again. So Gojo's gonna lose. This is a really good spread, by the way. Yuji, what do you see? Sensei! What happened? The shrine broke? Sakuna is coughing up blood, and he has a giant hole in his chest. Oh. Whoa. Whoa, Gojo! Simultaneous! It was simultaneous! Sakuna destroyed Gojo's domain from the outside, and Gojo damaged Sakuna to the point where he couldn't maintain his domain. Time! What? How long did Gojo's barrier last? Didn't anybody keep track? You didn't keep track either, Kusakabe. That's a student's job. 3 minutes and 9 seconds. If we're only talking about after the barrier was miniaturized, precisely 3 minutes. That's my big sis, you. Now that their domains have collapsed, neither of them can use their curse techniques. In that case, Satoru can make the first move since he can restore his burnt-out technique with reverse curse technique. But Sakuna can use reverse curse technique too. If you put it like that, then I can use it too. But as I said earlier, I can't use it to heal a burnt-out technique. However, Gojo Satoru made the mistake of showing that to Sakuna. Yeah, now he knows how to do it. Why is that a problem? With Kenjaku's help, Sakuna was able to split his spirit into 20 cursed objects, the fingers. After seeing it just once, he learned how to turn himself into a cursed object. Now that he's seen it, I'm sure Sakuna can also restore his burnt-out curse technique. So now we go into a pure melee battle yet again. Sakuna leaps up into the air, Gojo's down on the ground. Looks like Gojo goes down through the ground and then bursts up behind Sakuna. Ooh. Let's see here. I think Gojo threw a kick. Yeah. They land. Why? This whole time, Sakuna's been stubbornly avoiding using any other curse technique, other than the one granted to his domain. Even when the interior strength of the barrier lowered after I flipped the internal and external conditions, he didn't try to destroy it from the inside. He chose the riskier option. We were canceling out each other's sure hit effects from within the domain. Sakuna had no other choice but to use domain amplification in order to beat my limitless curse technique. That's a huge advantage for me. As I saw before, within a domain, he can't use buildings to attack. In fact, until my domain was destroyed from the outside, I had the upper hand for 3 minutes. In spite of all that, why didn't Sakuna even try to use the 10 Shadows technique or Maharaga inside the domain? Sakuna has the memory of Megumi and my conversation, so he knows I know about Maharaga, doesn't he? Is he scared I'll beat it with a single attack? There's the wheel. Gojo starts bleeding from the nose. What do those eyes see through? So, we were wondering, during the Yorozu fight, if Sakuna was able to apply Maharaga's properties to himself, or I guess what it seemed like he was doing was, he's able to transfer his experience with another technique onto Maharaga, so Maharaga already develops immunity before he brings him out. I think that's what's going on here. Is Sakuna was fighting Gojo normally and taking his attacks so he could give Maharaga time to adapt before bringing him out. So I think we're about to see the Divine General take to the field next chapter. Should be quite something to see. Once again, a very good chapter. This fight is turning out very well thus far. So, needless to say, I'm very excited for next week. But with that, that's all I've got for this week's reaction. If you enjoyed, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss any of my uploads. I do Jujutsu Kaisen chapter reactions and reviews every week that we get a new chapter. If you enjoy discussing Jujutsu Kaisen with other people, or you just enjoy the content I produce on this channel, I highly suggest you check out my Discord server. I have a link to that down in the description. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys around. Take care.